Don't forget, we're giving away this guitar to one of the first 1,000 subscribers, so be sure and hit that subscribe button. Listen, we're almost there, and I'm excited to give this thing away. Hey everyone, Jacob here with Good Tones and Coffee. You may have listened to that little sound bit and thought, Jacob, why don't you just tune that guitar? Well, I did tune this guitar right before I started filming. So today we're going to talk a little bit about guitar setups and why it matters to you. Maybe you've done your own setup work in the past, and I know with electric guitars it's a lot easier than an acoustic guitar because you have the fully adjustable necks, especially on all modern guitars. And then your individual saddle pieces can be, moved forward or backward or up or down. And even some of those Fender saddle pieces that have the Allen screws to where you can kind of shift it side to side to try to match the radius of your fingerboard. It's super easy to get those things dialed in. But what do you do with an acoustic guitar? Because you don't have individual saddle pieces, and you don't have, on some of these guitars, especially Martins, by the way. This is a Martin 00017. Now, not all Martins are this way. I believe some of the more inexpensive lines do have adjustable truss rods, but these standard, or like the standard series guitars, especially your 28s, your 18s, and like, they don't have adjustable truss rods. So there's no way for me just to reach in with an Allen and adjust this neck relief to make the strings more favorable to the guitar playing experience. And that, by the way, adjusting the neck relief is not always the best answer for you. Sometimes on guitars that I've had before, because I do a lot of my own minor Luthier work, I don't do anything made, like if it's replacing things on it or something like that. Like I slotted the bridge on some of my other guitars, and I mean that was pretty easy for me to do. But like a saddle adjustment. But this guitar has a good saddle height. It has a good break angle on the strings behind the saddle. So what do you do in a situation like this where the strings are incredibly high? And it is no fun to play. And let me tell you something. Many of you know this. A lot of the fun in the guitar is the playing experience. Yes, the sound, but you achieve better sound when everything is right. You know what I mean? When the playing experience all fits and it's fun to play. It sounds good. It just levels up everything. This guitar sounds good, but it is a bore. I mean, it's the action, especially at the 12th fret, is egregious. Like, it is so high. What do you do with a guitar like this? Well, I have a good friend named Charlie White, and he does some great luthier work. I send all of my stuff personally to him if I need anything done. So this is a friend of mine's 00017, and it's most likely going to need a neck reset. Again, I mentioned you can't just adjust the truss rod on these Martins like this. So what is a neck reset? Something that is way above my pay grade. I'm not going to try it. But I know Charlie has done many, and he is the guy for me. So we're going to send this guitar off to Charlie, and we're going to let him work his magic. And when it gets back, we'll record a second part to this video, and let's hear what it sounds like when it's set up. Where we are, it's been 70 degrees the last 3 days, so I have switched to some iced coffee. Now, you may not be a fan of iced coffee, but if you make it really, really strong and then add ice to it, it actually kind of balances out pretty good. I like strong coffee anyway, so I've really got to make some iced coffee really strong. This is just a mocha pot brew method over top of some ice, and it just turns out to be so smooth. I don't know, something about it, like especially first thing in the morning, especially if it's hot outside. Right now, the mornings are still kind of cool, but it's getting warmer throughout the day, which is weird because last week there were still single-digit temperatures, but now we're in the 70s. I'm not complaining. In fact, I love it. I wish it was this way all year round, but if it's this way all year round, everyone would have moved here. But anyways, iced coffee, iced mocha pot is the way to go. So, we've got our guitar back from our friend Charlie, and Heath is going to love this thing. He hasn't seen it since it's got back yet. He was so gracious to let me use this for a video, and I think it's just the importance of a setup will make or break guitar playing. Honestly, if you get a hold of a guitar that just doesn't play right for you, you're not going to want to play it. I mean, I can say that pretty definitively because it's not just the way that I think, but I've talked to so many guitar players that they just struggle with an instrument because maybe the action's too high, maybe just intonation's out. And while they might be able to get a few things out of it that they like, just the overall experience is not there. So making an instrument play good for you is a great step in keeping yourself inspired. Now, granted, there are many people who have played on instruments that would have been difficult to play for someone else. But I get that's kind of a whole other conversation of how, playing styles differ. For instance, this guitar is set up exactly how Heath is going to like it. Heath is the one who lent me the guitar. It's set up perfectly for him. Why? Because he is this guitar especially is the type of guitar that he's going to keep around the house, maybe take on vacations with him. It's just a sit around the house, lounge, not work very hard. It's not a performer's guitar for him, that is, to where he's going to take it out and gig with it, to where he needs it to be set up for such. It's just a sit on the couch and lounge guitar that's going to keep himself occupied. And as, we get older, the hands are a little, which he's not that old. I'm so sorry, Heath, I'm not calling you old. The older we get, maybe arthritis might be setting in, or just by virtue of getting older, strength is waning from your fingers. Happens to the best of us. This guitar is going to be sitting around the couch, sitting on his lap around the couch. It doesn't need to be something that's meant to project a ton. It's all for personal satisfaction. I have a very heavy hand. My right hand is very heavy, and I'm trying to be better. I genuinely am, guys. I'm trying to know what the guitar wants and play for the guitar. This guitar, it plays like butter now, and I know Heath is going to love it. I can't wait to get it back to him now that it's back from Charlie's place. What kind of setups do you guys prefer? Do you like a little higher action, something that causes a lot of projection? Honestly, it actually depends on the guitar type too. This guitar would not be suited for the type of one that would project out. It's not a dreadnought. It's like a parlor size guitar, so it's going to be intended for smaller settings. And it takes a mic well, from what I can tell. I mean, I'm not an audio engineer by any means, so I can't be the authority on that, but it sounds good mic'd up to my ears, and I enjoy playing it. I think Heath's going to really like it. But what are some setup things that you guys like? Are you heavy-handed like myself? You have a little softer touch, feather fingers. I appreciate you spending some time with me today, and if you want to hear my one tip for everyone on how to be a better guitar player, stay tuned.